When night descends upon the fertile valleys of California, a silent war begins, one that most people never see, yet nearly everyone pays for, under the cover of darkness. Fields that fed generations are torn apart, irrigation systems worth millions are shredded, and entire landscapes are transformed into chaos before sunrise. This is not the work of storms or droughts. It is the doing of an invasive force that has spread faster than any predator in modern American history. Feral hogs are not ordinary wildlife. They are a biological invasion. Unlike native animals that exist within natural limits, these hogs reproduce at an alarming rate. A single sow can give birth to multiple litters each year, each producing half a dozen piglets or more. Within months, those offspring are breeding again. The result is an explosion that ecosystems were never designed to handle. The economic damage is staggering. Across the United States, feral hog destruction exceeds $1.5 billion annually, with California ranking among the hardest-hit states. Vineyards uprooted overnight, almond orchards reduced to mud fields, water lines crushed beneath sheer body weight. For farmers, this is not wildlife interaction. It is economic warfare. But the financial losses are only the surface. The true danger lies within the hogs themselves. These animals are mobile carriers of devastating diseases, such as African swine fever, brucellosis, and pseudorabies. A single infected hog can contaminate water sources, livestock, and soil. If these pathogens reach commercial farms, the response is swift and merciless. Mass culling of entire herds, sometimes numbering in the millions, to prevent a full-scale agricultural pandemic. Food security hangs in the balance. This is why governments classify feral hogs not as game animals, but as a destructive invasive species. And when an enemy reaches this scale, the instinctive response is force. Massive force. That belief gave rise to one of the most dramatic countermeasures ever attempted. Aerial eradication. From above, helicopters sweep across open land. Hunters targeting moving herds with precision fire. On paper, it looks like the ultimate solution. Fast, overwhelming, decisive. But reality quickly reveals its limits. In California, aerial hog hunting is among the most tightly regulated wildlife actions in the nation. Laws such as SB 856 restrict this method to government agencies or specially authorized contractors, and only in extreme cases of verified damage. Private landowners cannot simply deploy helicopters. Add to that the staggering cost, thousands of dollars per hour in fuel, pilots, equipment, and safety tools. And the strategy collapses under its own weight. What was meant to be the final answer became an expensive experiment. The sky could not win this war. And that realization forced a radical shift in thinking, away from brute force, and toward something far more dangerous to the hogs themselves: intelligence. When firepower failed to deliver lasting results, wildlife managers and farmers face a hard truth. Feral hogs are not mindless animals. They learn, they adapt, and they remember. Every failed attempt makes the next encounter more difficult. This marked a turning point in the war. The goal was no longer to eliminate a few animals. It was to dismantle entire social units known as sounders. A sounder is a tightly bonded family group, often led by an experienced matriarch whose memory of food sources, traps, and threats guides the entire herd. Remove individuals without removing the leader, and the damage continues. The first major breakthrough came not from weapons, but from connectivity. Enter the cellular corral trap. These large circular enclosures are equipped with motion cameras linked directly to a smartphone. Instead of triggering a trap blindly, operators now observe the sounder in real time. They wait, they study, and only when every hog, especially the matriarch, has entered the enclosure do they activate the gate remotely. One decision, one moment, entire herds captured at once. This technology dramatically improved success rates, but still relied on a centuries-old concept, a falling metal gate. And hogs, intelligent as they are, began to associate that movement with danger. Some hesitated, others refused to enter at all. A few escaped and carried that knowledge forward. Once again, the hogs adapted. So researchers pushed further, designing systems that removed fear entirely. The result was the net trap, a silent evolution in wildlife control. Unlike traditional traps, these systems eliminate visible barriers. No loud gates, no steel walls. Instead, soft netting blends into the environment, guiding hogs through funnel-shaped entrances that feel natural and safe. There is no sudden drop, no explosive noise. The hogs are not chased inside. They walk in willingly. And once they do, escape becomes mathematically impossible. Studies conducted by the University of Georgia confirmed that modern whole sounder trapping already achieved success rates approaching 88%. But when net-based systems were tested under field conditions verified by Auburn University and the USDA, effectiveness surged to an astonishing 96.7%, nearly perfect removal. Even more critical, these systems operate autonomously. No human presence. No active monitoring. No chance for hogs to associate danger with people. The trap becomes part of the environment, and the hogs defeat themselves. The war was no longer about strength. It was about understanding behavior. By the time the sun rises over California's farmlands, the battle has already been decided. There are no gunshots echoing in the distance, no helicopters cutting across the sky, no dramatic scenes for the cameras. And yet beneath the soil and among the damaged roots of once healthy fields, the tide is finally turning. This war was never meant to be won through spectacle. Every attempt to overpower feral hogs with noise and force produced the same result. Short-term success followed by long-term failure. Survivors learned. Populations rebounded. The cycle repeated. What changed everything was a realization that dominance does not dismantle an invasion. Disruption does. Modern hog management is no longer built around killing numbers. It is built around breaking systems. At the center of every feral hog population lies a structured social hierarchy. Sounders are not random groups. They're organized units led by older, highly experienced females. These matriarchs memorize feeding routes, recognize danger zones, and teach survival strategies to younger members. As long as they remain alive, the invasion remains stable. This is why random removal never worked. The new strategy focuses on something far more precise: complete social collapse. Whole sounder trapping removes every member of the group at once, including leadership animals. Without guidance, remaining hogs scatter, reproduction slows, and territorial control fractures. What once seemed like endless multiplication suddenly begins to stall. Critics often question the morality of such methods, particularly when pregnant sows are captured. But wildlife science presents an uncomfortable reality. Feral hogs are not a native species. They do not exist in balance with the land. Each surviving sow represents exponential future damage. Destroyed crops, poison water sources, disease transmission, and forced livestock culls. Preventing that future suffering requires decisive action now. In this context, efficiency becomes an ethical necessity. Unlike chaotic hunting, advanced trapping systems minimize prolonged stress. There is no chase, no repeated exposure danger, no wounded animals escaping to suffer elsewhere. The process is controlled, swift, and final. It reduces collateral harm not only to ecosystems, but to farmers, ranchers, and rural communities whose livelihoods hang in the balance. What makes this approach truly powerful is its invisibility. Traps do not announce themselves. There are no human silhouettes for hogs to associate with fear, no repeating patterns to learn. The environment remains unchanged until suddenly the damage stops. Over time, land begins to recover. Root systems stabilize. Irrigation lines survive the night. Native species return to areas once dominated by destruction. The absence of hogs is not dramatic, but it is profound. Yet this victory is never permanent. Invasive species management is not a war with an ending. It is a responsibility that demands constant vigilance. New sounders will migrate, pressure will return, and the tools must continue to evolve alongside the enemy. What this battle has ultimately revealed is a larger truth about modern conflict, whether ecological or human. Strength alone is blunt. Technology without understanding is wasteful. But when intelligence, behavior, and precision intersect, even the most destructive forces can be dismantled quietly. The feral hog does not realize it has lost. There is no final stand, no moment of recognition. And that is precisely why the strategy works. Because the most effective victories are not the loud ones. They are the ones the enemy never sees coming.